Welcome back to another video, guys. Today we won't be working on Project Daily, but we'll be working on the Forester. It's just a couple maintenance items that I'll be doing today. We'll be changing the sway bar end links because on the driver's side, actually, there is no end link. It broke off. The stock ones have little plastic pieces here, and when those plastic pieces break off, so does the sway bar. So I will be fixing those, and then we'll be putting in a new cabin air filter. And that is because when you turn on the AC in the Forester, you can hear the rocks. So those rocks aren't very good, and they sound super annoying. So we'll be putting this in and hopefully cleaning that out. The first order of business is to lift the Forester up and there we go. It is all lifted up, and I'm just checking everything out, and it looks like we have lots of life on the rotors and brake pads. They're a little bit rusty, but that's all right. And then here's the broken end link right here. So as you can see, this piece has snapped off. It's 4 plastic pieces that goes into there, which doesn't make much sense because it's definitely just going to fail eventually. So that's why we're putting in a little bit better ones. But other than that, everything looks all good. There's less rust than the STI actually, so we're doing pretty good. So next thing is to get these off. I've been using Seafoam Deep Creep on these for the last 3 days, so hopefully that's enough penetrating oil to undo these and get them off relatively easily, unlike most of the things we do around here. So now that we got one done, the rest should be pretty easy, the exact same, so I'm going to show you exactly how to do it here, and then if all goes well, we'll probably time-lapse the other one. The other one looks like someone replaced the lower control arm, and therefore the threads, the big thing was the threads were giving us massive issues. If you look, there's actually metal shavings on the threads, so it was just cutting through that. But the other one looks like it was very recently changed, or the lower control arm, because they both look extremely clean. So if that is the case, it should be super easy to take it off and shouldn't take more than a couple minutes. So let's get to the other side and I'll go through the exact same process. This one's doing the same thing as when you move this, the other side moves. So what we're going to do again is if there's any rubber left, which there isn't because mine just fell off, is you're going to take a pipe wrench, get it in here. Okay, that blue thing's going to have to go, so you can just pop it off like that. They're just little, pretty much plastic cups, so they come off really easy. And now we can actually get the pipe wrench in here. Tighten the pipe wrench around whatever we can get it around. And then just pretty much undo it. Okay, I think it's free enough that we can get a socket in there now. So let's take off the breaker bar. That's on. Take our pipe wrench. Put the pipe wrench back on the right way. And then should be good to go. Yeah, there we go. And also I've cleaned the threads with the deep seep, as I said, so it helped a lot. If not, these probably would have been rusted a lot more on. And there we go. That's how you remove the old end links. There, so now we are ready to put in the new one, but first I want to take off the other side. So I figured out a pretty good process for taking off those end links. So first you take off that rubber seal, then you take off that blue cup just by hammering it with a chisel or a punch. Take your pipe wrench, put it on the ball joint, and then you just wrench it off, and it's not too difficult. So I did that both times and it worked. So this time on this side we're just going to time lapse it. So see you guys on the other side of time lapse where we install the new ones. To continue with our usual programming of nothing ever working right, guess what happened? So the head of this bolt just decided it wasn't having it and stripped right out. So, got the cutting wheel on the grinder, and it looks like we're just going to have to cut it off. So, we'll cut that off and then we'll continue removing this. The other side was the worst side, I thought, but not anymore. Also, another thing I've determined is I've been doing it wrong, but I've been doing it so it works, so it doesn't really matter. But if we look at the ends of these, they have a little Allen key on them. So technically you can use an Allen key to hold these in place and not use the stupid pipe wrench, but the pipe wrench works perfectly fine. I'll use the Allen key to put the other ones in because they'll have an Allen key end, and then we won't have to scratch up the new ones. So let's cut this out and then continue on our time lapse. Now that we got this guy out, all we got to do is the top one, and it should be super easy. It should be like 1, 2, 3. And there we go, the last bit out. Now it's time to put the new ones in. Here is the new end link, and here is the old. So one thing I want to check is make sure it's the same size, identical size, and then all you really got to do is put it in here and here, and then bolt it all up. It's a super easy install, and it's one of probably the easiest things we'll be doing ever on this car, besides maybe the tire change or an oil change, but super easy maintenance. So if you're wondering if you can do it, I think you guys can. I had a little bit of a difficulty getting the first one in, so what I ended up doing is preloading the shock a bit with the jack, and then making this Z curve with the end link, so it goes this way, across and down, and then putting it in like this with it about half preloaded, and then you get both bolts in when the sway bar is about halfway. So now we just got to add the new bolts. I'm going to be putting a little bit of blue thread lock on these because I don't want to check them again, and they should probably be thread locked anyways, as I don't have a torque spec. And then we just got to repeat on the other side. And there we go, we have the driver's side sway bar end link in. Super easy actually. So I ended up just lifting, as I said, preloading the shock a bit, and then getting the sway bar about, it looks like neutral position, and then just zigzagging these and getting them in. Then I just hit it with some blue thread lock and tighten them down to they're good and tight. And that's about it. So let's go do the other side quickly. We finally have both sway bar end links in. The install was pretty well actually. It just took a little fidgeting to get them to fit right in, but after jacking up it worked pretty well. So the only thing we have left with the sway bars is putting on the tires and cleaning up the mess. So let's do that in 3, 2, 1. And there we go, all the end links are on. If you guys look, is this just me or am I crazy? Is there a lot of positive camber on this wheel? It's like this. Oh, it's maybe because we are turned a bit. I have to see if I need a realignment. I don't think so because there were no adjustments to the geometry besides the sway bars, so we should be good, but I'll let you know in the next video. But there's one more thing I want to do, so this ends the portion of the sway bar replacement. So that wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be a little bit quicker, but also I didn't think I was going to be grinding off a bolt, so I guess you win some, you lose some. The last thing we're going to be doing is installing the cabin air filter, because I don't think anyone's ever done it in this car because it sounds like there's sand in there. So I'll show you how to do it. It's super easy, and if you don't think or you don't know, I would definitely recommend doing it because it's one of those things that is looked over a lot, and then people are like, oh, I haven't done that in like 200,000 K, I should probably do that. And I pull the air filter out and it's just disgusting. I'm actually looking forward to see which one this looks like. Maybe someone's done it, maybe someone has not. So let's go check it out. First you gotta undo the screws here, 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 and there's one down below. Once you've pulled those screws out, the panel piece actually just pops right out, and there's your blower motor, and there is the filter location. So pop these two tabs right here and here. This comes out, and let's see how disgusting this filter is once I can get this undone. Oh, there's your problem. There's not a filter in there. So someone just decided, I don't need one, and look how dusty it is. So solid, I'll put a filter in and we'll get it back to it. Just took a quick vacuum to the inside of that and it pulled out a bunch of rock, so hopefully that's what's making all those tinging noises. Now let's go get the filter. I'm using the same filter I used in the STI. It's a nicer one than usual than your stock OEM one, but I thought I might as well use it because I do like having a nice clean interior. And I'm using one of the tips you guys gave me, is put a little bit of essential oils on the filter itself and it goes through the whole system. So let's do that and put the filter in. And then all that's left to install it, so look for the up arrow and then it just slides right in like that. And then you just repeat the process, put the cover back on, and put this on and you're all done. And just like that, the Forester is complete. We did the sway bar end links and we put in a new filter, and we didn't even find the old one, so I guess that's all good news. Anyways, that's all we're gonna do today. That's the two big maintenance items I wanted to do. The only thing really left on the Forester before we start doing a lot of mods is to clean the rest of the interior, like the dash and stuff, and that will be coming up in a video very soon. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope any of you that were looking for a sway bar replacement, this helped. And as always, peace out and stay humble.